I would like to welcome you this morning. With regard to my role, I do the international investment with Ewan Hill at Colliers. Just a little bit of explanation as to who we are, and I won't dwell on it for too long, but one of the top three. And I know we have colleagues from CBRE and James Lang here this morning. They're welcome. But we have an international coverage, and the significance of that with regard to the discussion on Paris this morning is that clearly investors are looking worldwide more than ever, and they will analyse which cities and which markets give them the best returns across the whole world, from Asia through to North America through to Europe, more than ever. This is a slide which was prepared by James Lang for the City of London Corporation. I like this slide because it does show global investment movements last year, 2011, and it shows where you've got the movement between the different regions of the world. The one thing I would touch on here is you have global, which is the grey colour, grey numbers. That's where you have funds, and some of you here this morning will work for these funds, which are international funds. So in that case, they're called global because they're not from one particular geographical area. But the other regions are Asia, Pacific, Australasia, Europe, America, Middle East, are where you can see the capital trends for commercial real estate last year. In all cases, you will find that there has been a net investment into Europe. Now, in the previous guise, before I joined Colliers, I was the senior manager for European investment at the Government of Singapore Investment Corporation, GIC. And the reason I mention that is that this trend was particularly important because as a global sovereign wealth fund, I always had to champion the cause of Europe or Paris or London against Shanghai or New York or Canada. And I think more than ever, it's important to understand the local market with regard to where the future returns will be, because we are looking at a global investment cycle. And when you look at the trends here, particularly from Asia in the last couple of years and from North America and the Middle East, you'll see that Europe and Paris, London, are the main beneficiaries from this cross flow of investment. This is the European overview for last year as to where the investment was across Europe. And just very briefly, and most of you will be very familiar with these figures, but in the context of Paris this morning, you can see that the UK 37.1, Germany 30.1, and France 16.5. And at dinner last night, talking to my Parisian colleagues, we were analysing the spread between Paris and the whole of France. I think that what I would say, because I'm based in London, in central London investment most of the time, is that France is mainly Paris. At the moment, the UK is mainly London, and Germany is slightly different because you have, as you know, the federal cities, so it's more spread out. But the significance, in summary, is that both London and Paris are particularly important internationally, globally at the moment. This just shows cross-border investment, where it comes from. And the most interesting thing here is that you can see that Asia, which is the lightest blue of all, of course, are looking close, have invested quite significantly into the UK. And then you have Middle East, North American, and other European. We're here to talk about Paris. So if you look at the third bar chart, which is France, there is little Asian investment, not that much Middle Eastern investment. It's been mainly North American and from other parts of Europe, and obviously Olivier will go into more detail in a few minutes.